Good morning, welcome to today's RC Coffee Chat. I'm Matt, by the way, and I keep forgetting to say, hi, I'm Matt, and welcome to today's RC Coffee Chat. Now, those of you which are on the live version, if you can let me know if the audio is nice and clear. And let's get into today's topic. So, topic number one, I feel like the chimp. No, really I do. And yesterday, well, I'll get the video published this week at some point and you'll see what went on. But we'll have a recap of yesterday's flying. And brilliant. Thank you, Olin. Appreciate that, sir. Topic number two is Andrew's conversion of a Seagull Edge 540 is what we can see up on our screen today. Topic number three is quadcopters. And specifically why I won't be touching them. Topic number four is what you would like to see. I'm looking for ideas of live events, which I can run here on YouTube. So that will be a topic which we'll be covering shortly. And also topic number five is something which I'm going to have a play with today. And you're going to see it start to evolve over the next couple of days. We're going to start having defined sections to each daily RC Coffee Chat. So you'll find out more about that, and I've got a little test to do to see whether that screws up or not, as the case may be. Right, so let's get back to topic number one. Now, I don't know where it is. Oh, I do. It's over there in the bag. Yesterday was Maiden Day for the Apex. Now, it was just a catalogue of screw-ups, to say the least. And what I actually did wrong is, number one, I didn't actually put the pins in the bottom to get the CG right, so I didn't really have an idea on the CG, so we just strapped a big lump of lead to the nose, and then Matt launched it with far too much reflex in it, so it went straight up and over, which is rather scary. And also, Matt also made another mistake as well, which he had far too much rates on the old sticks, and that's why I felt like the chimp, because it just did that. But it's got more carbon in it than most would deem necessary, and it's pretty solid, and it took 3 really good whacks. On the bright side, it did fly for a good couple of meters, so we know that there's life in that wing, and frankly speaking, by the time I've done those 3 launches, I'd had enough, and plus the model was wet, so the tape which I was using came off. So, yeah, not the most successful of maidens I've ever had, but crucially, I know where I went wrong. And that's the main thing. It's not like, oh my god, why didn't that work? It was more of a case of, oh, right, Matt, you're being a plank. So, yeah. So the Apex Maiden didn't go very well, and I will share my experiences later this week with the Apex Maiden. Craig has been and popped out a video on this, and I will update the show notes with the latest, after this episode's finished, I will update the show notes with a card in the top right hand corner to Craig's video, and also I will put a link to Craig's video in the show notes for you too. What else did we do? Oh, we took the Mini Talon. You may be able to spot her there in the background. Took the Mini Talon up for a quick spin around. That did really well. But it was bloody freezing. There's no other words for it. Rich said, Rich was there and Craig. And Rich said, Matt, you shivering? I said, yeah, I'm shivering my tits off. It's so cold. It was a properly northerly wind yesterday. And after that, I gave up. Frankly, gave up. That was it for me. Oh, the Hummer 3D took a bit of a bashing. Let me see if I can get the folder open to see if it's in the photos, and you can have a look at the state of it. Now, to fill you in with the background to this, as some of you may already know or may not know, is that my what I'm trying to learn at the moment is 3D, and that is the state of my Hummer. You can see she's pooed herself with mud. What you can't see is the opposite wing hanging off, and also the rudder control, which you can probably just about make off there, has also given up the ghost as well. So my poor Hummer 3D really is starting to show signs of abuse. Poor model. It's done me really well up until now, but literally the wings have cracked and I've tried repairing it several times and there's loads of carbon in it. I'm going to give it one more go and then I may just give up and admit defeat and get myself another one, and then use this one as spare parts. Hopefully on the next one I don't break the wings on it. So yeah, bit of a disappointing one on that, but ultimately it was bloody freezing out there yesterday. Oh, yeah, only the hardcore here in the United Kingdom of wetness would have been out flying yesterday. Now, actually, what I'd like to do is try something new today. Now, this is where I'm going to do something. I'm going to have defined sections to these RC coffee chats. So hopefully your screen has been unchanged. And what I'd like to do, this is the first time I've tried this, and what I'm going to be doing is a shout out corner. So with that said, I would like to get my mouse back, come back fella, and say some good mornings, good evenings or good afternoons, obviously depending where you are in the world. So good morning Rick, good morning Lauren, good morning Joe, good morning Gordon. By the way, if you are on the live version, say howdy in the chat box on the right hand side. And of course, if you're not watching the recorded version, remember you can say howdy in the comments section underneath. So good morning Andy. Dang this stupid password. Good morning. Who else we got on here? One old goat. Good morning. Jake. Good morning. Who else we got on here? Wayne. Apologies if I missed you. Good morning, Henry. Good morning, Anthony. Good morning, Philip. Good morning, Olin. Good morning, Slappy, which is Todd, I believe. Good morning, Riff. Good morning, Shillong. Who else we got? Shane and Heather. Good morning. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Peter. Who else is on there? BMX. Good morning. Now, obviously, if I've been and missed you, I do apologise. And let me see if I can transition back again. I think that works. I'm going to go back. Oh, Odie Backer. Good morning. I hope that works all right. And I'm going to, once this is finished, I'm going to run back and just hit like rewind and see if it's worked or not, because I'd like to do some other sections like this later. And good morning, Jim, by the way. So yeah, that was me having a quick play. I'll explain more about that in a few moments. Now on to the next topic, which is this model I've had in my cellar for months, and I mean months. And I bought it off eBay and I paid, what was it, about 70 quid for a Seagull Edge 540, which has got like about a 1.5 meter wingspan-ish, and a Harrier 3D model, which is a huge, great big balsa 3D model, because I was trying to plan like into the new year, and they were a complete bargain, like 70 quid for two balsa models, and you just needed servos, and I wasn't going to run IC, I hasten to add. I always knew that I was going to convert them to electric. Now, Tom, I do know that's blasphemy in your world, but in my world, I do much prefer electric. Don't get me wrong, IC got a fantastic smell, it's got a whole experience to it, it's just got the noise, but it's also got the mess and the fumbling and the faffing, which, to be brutally honest, doesn't float my boat at all. So I decided to work a little bit smarter, and I asked Andrew, did you fancy doing a conversion of this model into electric? And he seemed kind of excited about it. So happy days. I don't know what I'm going to have to trade for it yet, but he's been making a fantastic job. And yesterday he popped some photos up in the FaceBalls group. Now, it will be running a monster, and I mean, it's an absolute whacking, great big motor. It's a huge, great big thing, which runs on it's a 500 kV motor, which means that we'll need to run her on 6S to get the Rippums up there, so that we've got plenty of thrust, and it'll be running with a 15x8 prop. What Andrew has been and done is this is like looking in from the back where the wings sit in, so we're looking up towards the nose, and he's been and created a little plywood tray in there, well, a balsa tray on the bottom as well, so that we can slide in the batteries and then screw in the plate to keep it still. And he's done a really, really good job on it. Let's have a look at some of these other photos. Oh, I did give him a standoff as well, but because the holes matched up with the bottom of the motor mount, and again, it's all these kind of these little bits of faffing which I just wouldn't have had the enthusiasm to do, to be brutally honest. And just frankly, the other time, I've got like 5 builds on the way here at the moment, and there's a couple of models in the air on the way to me at the moment as well. So this extra pair of hands. So massive hat to Andrew. And by the way, there is a link to Andrew's YouTube channel in the video description and in a card in the top right hand corner too. He is a big ass slope soarer. What he doesn't know about slope soaring models is just frankly not worth knowing, to be brutally honest. Anyway, coming back onto the topic, yeah, he's been and adapted the standoffs for the motor itself. As you can see, it's a monster on there, and there you go, that's the size of the propeller on the front of it. And what else have we got in here for photos? Yeah, look at that. Between Andrew, Doug, and Doug, they'd worked out that the motor already did have some tilt in for the motor to stop it skewing, so that's happy days. We didn't see any other evidence on the previous motor mount that it had any previous thrust angle changes on it, so it is looking pretty damn good. And look at that, that propeller is going to be sat on the front, and this is for two reasons, by the way, for this conversion. Number one is that I'd like to start doing some precision aerobatics, and this is like a later model for me, and the other one is something to spank around and do some decent moves with, and it's definitely a step away from the foam models which I've been flying up to now. Now, fingers crossed it lasts more than one flight. The FMS Edge 540, which is over there, it's still in one piece. And it's a funny one actually with the FMS Edge 540, is that when I walk up to the flight line, in my head I say, A game, Matt, come on, you need to get on your A game, don't stuff it, A game, be calm, be calculating in what you're doing, and that's what I do. Well, the last time I flew the Edge 540, it was the A game, Matt, don't stuff it, and if your funds are frozen, then just land, just get it down, enjoy the flight, enjoy what you got, and then of course we can always fly another day, because the last time I took the Edge 540 out, the FMS one, it was, when I left here, -3, when I got up to the flying site it was still -2, my hands were frozen. So this is me looking into the summer now, and the conversion of this one, as I said to Andrew, look, it's going to get done faster if you do it. Summer's coming, we'll make the most of it when the weather's good. So yeah, the Edge 540, she is coming along, and a massive hat tip to Andrew. Quickly looking at the chat which is going on in the background. BMX says you should get an EFX Extra and a full-size Drac for a review. We are definitely getting an EFX Extra, that is for sure, and we will be checking the Hobby King website shortly to see if it's still broken or not. Full-size Drac, unlikely. That is a lot of foam, a lot of, what's it, 350 USD before it's even landed in the UK, before you add parts. It would be a fantastic model, but from manufacturers, yeah, I get your point. It is what it is. So Wayne says, how's that long standoff going to handle the motor torque? Yeah, that is a curiosity on there. It should be all right on there. I would reinforce that with a block behind that huge motor. Yeah, what we could do is maybe put a wooden block. Again, it needs nose weight, so anything in the nose is welcomed, because don't forget it would have had a great big engine sat in the front of it anyway. What we could do, just thinking out loud, is mark up the 4 mounting points on a chunk of wood, and then drill down, and then just put a block of wood down the back of it, and then put epoxy or something in there. That would be extremely crude, but extremely effective. That would work. That would definitely work. Joanne says some triangle gussets, perhaps. Yeah, could do. Yeah, BMX, they should send you for free for a review. Yeah, could be. And yes, Mark, that is a lot of cheese. I don't know. So, yeah. Right, so that was a conversion. Oh, also note, I do have a Harrier 3D model, which some of you may have remembered from a previous RC Coffee Chat. That one is also up for conversion, and Naughty Matt didn't buy the motor for that last time, and I also need to check the old servo collection, so you're going to have to excuse me while I think about it. I'm just going to take a quick note. 500 kV servos, Harrier 3D. I can stick that on today's to-do list. Topic number 3 for today is about quadcopters. Now, this was brought up in the chat, which, well, this topic and the next one are kind of like linked up together. Those of you which haven't seen like the YouTube channel intro video, which is that I kind of touch on this topic, but not specifically, not very deeply. It is a educated decision on my part to basically keep away from like mainstream quads. Now, I know for some of you that's going to be, oh man, but I love my quadcopters, and that's great. Don't forget, it was the video of some quads chasing through the woods which got me into this hobby. But for me, I feel quads are pretty well covered. They are really, really covered by, frankly, a lot smarter people than me. I'm not saying that I won't do some basics videos at some point in the future. Hey, I could, like I said many a time, I can never second guess myself like several months on. But right now, in short, I don't really want to cover like normal size quads. So anything from, I'll tell you what I will cover in short. Anything which I'm actually using myself personally. So I've got two 250 quads here. I've got a 180 and I've got some micro quads as well. And it's the micro quads which are good fun, like the FB90. We've got that 1S racing quad. Still small stuff for chucking around the house. The fun side, like the super good fun, the stuff you can fly at home. I kind of like that. So that will probably hang around, but no great focus on it. But into full-blown quads and like setting up beta flight or clean flight and things like that, that's not really my cup of tea. So you won't really be seeing that for me on this channel. What you will be seeing is flying wings of one shape or form or another, and anything to do with FPV, because that's kind of like that's what I like to fly. So I have to stay true to myself, if that makes sense. Yeah, quads are fun, but once you've flown well, you have to just go faster and higher. Yeah, and I'm not knocking quads at all. They're brilliant fun. They're just not really my cup of tea. Now, topic number 4 is that this is an open question in the Facebook group. Now, there is a link to the Facebook group in the video description for you. And I will put a link to this post in there as well in the show notes after this episode's finished. Which is that I'm looking for ideas from yourself. What would you like for me to cover live? Now, realistically, no more than about an hour. So that could be an unboxing, because that will be like an hour all in by the time we've accounted for chit chat from your comments, which have come in the background. It could be on a specific topic. It could be walking through a couple of different wings, or a specific wing like the Phantom. For example, I've got a collection of ideas here, but I wanted to see what you could come back with on what you would like to see. So if you have any ideas, do pop it in the comments section underneath that post in the Facebook group. I am watching it very carefully to see what your suggestions are. There was like a suggestion of long distance UHF flights and setups and things like that, which realistically I cannot cover because I'm based in the United Kingdom and those frequency bands are not allowed. So I can technically own kit like that, so I can have a big ornament, for example. The second I turn it on, I'm a naughty boy, and that's not something which I want to publish on YouTube for obvious reasons. So if you have any ideas for topics, projects, or ideas, do let me know over in the Facebook group. Now, moving on very, very quickly, we want more about your life. Yeah, next week is going to be horrific and you don't want part of that one. Basically, I've got to hunker down and code my nuts off because later today I'm going to overcommit to quite a large audience of actually customers, and I'm going to set a very aggressive goal to get something finished by the end of the week. So yeah, it's crazy stuff. Nuts. Good point there, by the way, Jeff. Good point. Topic number 5 is that I will be adding some specific sections. There was a comment a couple of weeks back, or it might have been a couple of days back. Sorry, everything's a bit of a blur at the moment. It felt like what did they say? It's like Top Gear for RC models, which I thought was a very nice compliment. So whoever said that, thank you very much, and apologies, I can't remember who said that. And what I'd like to do over the next couple of episodes is try out a couple of ideas, and we saw one of those this morning. It was Shout Out Corner. So as you should hopefully see, that the screen has been and changed across to a new slide. That's something which I would like to evolve. There are a couple of defined sections. I've also got some funny ideas. Well, I say ideas which can run for a period of time. I don't want to give you like a spoiler on those, but what I'm really looking for is interaction from yourself. And by the way, let me have a quick note which is going on in the comments in the background. Yeah, unfortunately, Wayne, business first. Business does have to pull rank this week pretty heavily, to say the least. I've got so much coding to get done. It's just unreal this week. And to be frankly honest, some of you probably wouldn't want my lifestyle, because I don't think many of you will be prepared to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, prepare show notes, try and catch up on the outside world, manage 2 teams. It's nuts. It's bonkers. It's crazy. Van says, morning Matt, maybe you should cover some more English wing models. The bigger flyingwings.co.uk ones, for example. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I have considered that. The thing is I like the Hornet wing, the Hornet FPV flying wing. They're fantastic, and for 25 quid, brilliant little wings. The Raven wing, I converted mine to FPV. I'm not a fan of it. There was more negatives than what I can say about positives, unfortunately. But don't forget, I converted mine to FPV and not a line of sight model. And also, to be brutally honest, the Texumo would have been better value for money. And that's just me being brutally honest. The Texumo was better by a country mile. Foam was thicker. The lot. The motor mount was better, and so on and so forth. But they also do think that models like the Venturi, which I do have access to a version 1 which I could cover, and also get a pilot's point of view for that one. So yeah, good call. Let's have a quick look. Do some micro quad flying inside, or go to other countries and meet other people. Thumbs FPV, I do have some budget left. Remember, this is a year-long project for me, and I did put quite a hefty budget allotted to this. I still have some budget left, and I could squeeze in a visit somewhere. Now, I am saying somewhere very, very loosely. I have ideas on what I'd like to do. But I've got too many other concerns right now for me to even consider doing that. So we'd have to wait for things work-wise to calm down a bit, to say the least. Let's have a quick look. Go to other countries, meet other people would be absolutely fantastic. Riff says, I'm good. Not doing what you do, Matt, but thanks for doing it just the same. BMX says, you make me feel guilty if I'm not building more. BMX, don't feel guilty. It's all about flying, isn't it? Like I said, there's 4 parts to this hobby, right? You've got the design stage. Some people love to design models. Some people love to build models. Some people love to fly models. And unfortunately, the one part which we've all got, no matter on your skill set, is that you also have the repair stage as well. As we've seen, I've got the repair stage with me today. But on a serious point, I'm firmly weighted in number 3. I would far prefer to be flying. And that's why my goal for this year was to try and publish 5 video episodes per day, which I still feel is perfectly possible. But work's been busy, and the what weather we have had, I've just gone out and flown. Just no excuses. I'd just frankly rather be flying. So what time I've had free, I've just gone out and flown, and that means that all the editing's backlogged, and I have so much video content which is backlogged. It's just ridiculous, and I genuinely do mean that. There's just like 30 male episodes. There's like 3-4 like maidens of stuff which I haven't finished editing, and well, I even want 2 of them. I haven't even started editing. I've got good challenges, if that makes sense. Let's have a quick look. Wayne says a live FPV or interviews of some of the mates on the flight line. Yep, that's definitely doable. We do have an interview later this week as well, specifically on Thursday. Fingers crossed that all goes well. And we also do have another special guest arriving with us this week. And I already know how I'm going to present that one. So you're going to have to look out for that one. Hopefully it doesn't land on Thursday, because that would be a bit awkward. But yeah, we have 2 special guests this week, and it's also something which I'd like to do in the future as well. Yeah, BMX, yeah, rendering, and it's the editing which takes so much time. Especially if like an episode has like a story to go with it. Yeah, and I've also had some frustrations with the software which I've been using lately, which seems to just want to crash every 5 seconds, which is bloody annoying. But hey-ho, hey-ho. So, right, coming back onto topic. Like I said, there will be some new defined sections in the RC Coffee Chats, which I will evolve over the next couple of days. These are specifically aimed around your interaction. So look out specifically for the shout out like we had previously. Also look out for a vote. We are going to have a daily vote. Now, these things need some preparation in advance. I was running short on time, so that's why I didn't run it today. So we will have some votes, and we will also have another section which is definitely very audience orientated. So yeah, look out for those over the next couple of days. So with that said, let me just quickly recap the topics which we covered today, and I'm going to pause for a quick cuppa. Yesterday, absolutely freezing. It was colder than a witch's wingtip out there. Yeah, that was just one of the days. It was just like, we've had enough. We're going home. So cold, so cold. Andrew's Edge 540 conversion is on its way. It's slowly progressing, which is absolutely fine by me, because I've had to do bugger all for it, which is brilliant. Which means that when the weather does cheer up here in the United Kingdom of wetness, it should be a lot better. We had a note around quads, and quads, they're great for flying around in the office and chasing the cat and the kids around the house, but realistically, do I go, I'm going to go out and fly a quad this weekend? No. I'm more like, yeah, you're going to go out and fly a wing this weekend. That gets me more excited. So that's why you'll see very, very little quadcopter stuff on this channel. So there's nothing against quads, they're great fun, but wings is where I'm at, if that makes sense. We also had the topic of what you would like to see. Now, if you have any ideas, do pop them over on the Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group, which, a shameless plug, there is a link to that in the video description beneath for you, is let me know in the comments section underneath this video. I'm open to all ideas if they can be done and they kind of align in, yeah. If it's done, and if we can squeeze it into an hour, or maybe it needs to be run into a series, I don't know. I'm just asking for what would you like to see? Let me know. Straightforward as that. And then topic number 5 is that we have some new defined sections, which, like I said, they are going to start to evolve over the next couple of episodes. Now, those of you thinking that I've forgotten about going and checking Hobby King to see if their website is still broken or not, their website is broken. No shit! I couldn't make that up. Let me just try a different window. Right. I've just tried a private browsing window or an incognito window. Literally, look, it was broken. Right, let's see if it's really broken. So we're going to type in EFXTRA. Right. Drum roll. Now this is going to be horrific on the microphone. No, the Hobby King website is still broken. Your search returns no results. Today is not the day for the EFX extra. I'm sorry. We check every day. What can I say? I did my part. I typed in EFX. I even spelt it right, which is a big challenge for me personally. EF extra. Your search returns no results. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. The Hobby King website is still broken. I'm sorry. And on that note, thank you ever so much for joining me for today's RC Coffee Chat. It's time for me to go. Yeah, flying hamburgers to the computer says, no! Right, it is time for me to go. If you've enjoyed today's RC Coffee Chat, press the thumbs up button underneath this episode. It does help this video be found by others. If this is your first time here, welcome aboard. My name's Matt. We do this every single day, pretty much every single day, and we do it live. The times are normally in the top section of the video. And if you're watching the recorded version, join in. The comment section is underneath. If you're not in the Facebook group, there is a link to the Facebook group in the video description. There are over 500-ish members, almost over 546 members, cool pilots like you in the FaceBalls group. It's free to join. Just press the join button in the top right hand corner. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, the red button, down that side, hit the subscribe button, and YouTube will you'll be able to see any of the other videos which I've got up. And if you press the little bell icon, YouTube will notify you the second the next episode has been published. Now, as always, thank you for joining me for today's still warm RC Coffee Chat. And on that note, for myself, Matt, cheerios!